60 miles east of Los Angeles, beneath the craggy chaparral hills of Riverside, California, lies a place where the natural world assumes a wondrous new appearance. It is a place where robot cameras conduct their work through day and night to capture realms of nature hidden from normal view. This magical basement workshop beneath his home is the loving creation and sole domain of a photographic wizard named Ken Middleham. Working here alone for more than 25 years, he has revealed our natural world in dimensions of time and scale that our naked eyes could never see.
Well, I think I've been interested ever since I was a child. I got a box brownie for Christmas one time and started taking stills. That later on led to movies. Then I got real interested in movies and doing extraordinary shots of various things that happen that you don't normally see in nature.
To accomplish his extraordinary shots for both documentary films and commercials, Ken has devised new techniques for capturing images. In this case, the elusive subject was a simple drop of water.
This is a system that I invented. And what happens is a drop falls, it goes through a beam of light, sets off a strobe, and controls the camera so that for every drop I get a single frame.
And once thousands of frames are painstakingly recorded on film, we can witness in stunning detail how a single tiny raindrop makes its way to the ground. The plants and animals outside his front door have always been, for Ken, a rich and abundant source of photographic subjects. By far his personal favorite is the wild hummingbird he gradually trained to fly into the glass enclosure of his studio. The bird would one day become the star of one of Ken's home movies.
Well, this is a very convenient way of shooting hummingbirds. I built this set, about 12 to 15 years ago, and for an assignment, and enticed a hummingbird to come in. And the same hummingbird came in for, I think a period of 9 years. When he first started coming in, he was a real bright, young little bird. And when the 9 years was over, he was an old, fluffy, feathered bird. He flew into the room one time, so I had to get a net and capture him. And I reached in the net and held him, just a real tiny little bird, and very cute. And I just let him go. Didn't seem to bother him because he was right back half an hour later. I shot quite a lot of the hummingbird, and I thought, well, why don't we do something a little crazy? How about a restaurant scene where the hummingbird comes in, drinks a martini? Then he starts to leave and decides the martini is a little strong, so he goes back and drinks some coffee. Of course, it's not a martini, it's sugar water. I spent, 3 or 4 weeks shooting the sequence, and when I finished it, why, something very bad happened. I came down one day, and we had had a gigantic wind one night, and the wind had come in through and blown this section out and blown all the sets through over, and the bird was apparently in there, and he was knocked out, so that I lost my hummingbird. I've always been fascinated by altering time in photography. The thing with time-lapse is that you shoot one frame every so often at intervals to compress time. One frame, depending upon the plant, maybe every 5 minutes or maybe even every hour.
Here, a caterpillar's 2-hour lunch is reduced by the camera to seconds. A day-long feast on a cotton plant is compressed tens of thousands of times. 2 days of feeding by fire ants appears as a frenzied attack.
I wanted to get a shot of an acorn turning into an oak tree, and I figured out that it would take a good 2 months to grow, and for a period of 2 months, the time interval turned out to be one frame every 4 hours.
But when his shot was finally done, Ken had captured the miraculous sight of an acorn sprouting into a baby oak.
I do just about everything in the studio. It's very difficult to set up in nature. You can get these things to happen just as though they were growing in nature and simulate nature. But it makes it feasible doing it that way then.